Please welcome Oregon's governor, our governor, Governor Kate Brown.
Patrick, thank you. Patrick, thank you for that very kind and generous introduction, and thank all of you for the opportunity to share my thoughts with you today. Let's cut right to the chase. On election night, Oregon voters elected me to lead the state of Oregon, and at the same time, they also rejected ballot measure 97, which I supported. You might think that that puts a tremendous burden on me as your governor to find another way to fund Oregon's future. But I'm here today to state that the price of victory is responsibility, both for me and for you. As we enter this discussion, I want to be clear that in many communities across our state today, we are failing many Oregonians, especially our children. Nearly half of Oregon children are born into poverty. 1 in 4 students will not finish high school. And it's estimated that this year, as many as 21,000 children in our K-12 system are homeless. At the same time, we continue to increase the burden on middle-class families with higher tuition, increased fees, and inadequate roads and bridges. State resources are not keeping pace with these needs. Nonetheless, in the upcoming biennium, state government will again tighten our belts and we will cut expenses. We are now tasked to do more with less, and we will. But in the long run, we cannot cut our way to prosperity. We have a gaping $1.7 billion budget hole. 3/5 of this is the cost of providing health care to all Oregonians. 1/5 is the unfunded PERS liability. And equal to that, 1/5 is the unfunded cost of 3 new ballot measures. The budget I proposed this week is balanced, no shortfall. It closes the $1.7 billion gap with a combination of reductions in services and new revenue. This new revenue is raised by increasing tobacco taxes, assessments on hospitals and insurance companies to help pay for health care, and closing other loopholes in the tax code. But even with the revenue increases, this budget still contains major program cuts, very painful cuts. College tuition is likely to go up. It will take an enormous effort to keep tuition hikes from reaching double digits. We may have to close Oregon Youth Authority and state hospital facilities in Junction City and Warrenton. We have proposed to reopen a women's prison due to overcrowding. Given a choice, I'd rather fund schools than open prisons. But under the current constraints, I'm left with very few choices. This budget is only a short-term solution. So, I want you to take it as a starting place for a broader conversation about how to best align our limited resources with our shared values and our shared vision for moving Oregon forward. Last year, as your not yet elected governor, I stood in this room and told each of you that when there's an economic downturn, we say we have to wait until the economy is good before we address our unfair revenue structure. And then, of course, when the economy is good, we choose not to address our unfair revenue structure because we're afraid it might hurt the economy. Today, as your duly elected governor, I come before you to say, regardless of whether we are in good times or bad, we still need stable and adequate revenue for key essential services. even before the most expensive ballot measure campaign in Oregon's history, many business leaders, including many of you in this room, told me that you want a vibrant education system, one that prepares our students to compete in a global economy. I absolutely agree. You want healthy communities that ensure every family can thrive. I absolutely agree on that as well. You want strong infrastructure that enables workers to get to their jobs safely and products to get to market efficiently. I agree. So we agree on what we need and why. We just didn't agree on how. Voters were absolutely clear that ballot measure 97 was not the right solution. But that does not change the fact that we still need a solution. So this is my challenge to you, to come up with ideas and proposals. Bring me solutions that restore fairness and balance to our tax system. Bring me solutions that don't unduly burden working families struggling to make ends meet. Bring me solutions that support economic growth in all of our communities, but particularly our rural communities. You've demonstrated what you will not support. I need to know what you can support, what you will support. There are going to have to be sacrifices on both sides. But I'm telling you, if your only solution is to cut teachers' salaries and renege on our promises to retirees, then this conversation will not go very far. In order for this to work, you can't begin and end the conversation with what others must sacrifice, with what others must give. You also need to bring proposals to the table about what you are willing to contribute. We have to come together and know that we are all on the same side, fighting to make Oregon a better place for all of us. Make no mistake, I will lead, but I cannot do this alone. We can solve this problem. We must do it together. Thank you.